Yeah, what it do, YouTube, man? It is your boy Solid back with another solid reaction. And today, man, the best Larry Bird 3-point shots stories ever told. Now, if y'all don't know, I'm a big Larry Bird fan. He's top two to me, man. We talking Michael Jordan, Larry Bird. That's how we rocking with it. If you've been on this channel long enough, you know this. You've seen me preach this night in and night out. But, man, before any comments, if you haven't seen any of my other videos, I wanted to let y'all guys know I am out at work right now at the oil field, man. So that's why I'm in the car doing what I'm doing. But I couldn't let my people go without videos, so I said something got to give. But, man, we're going to go ahead and get into this one, man. I hope y'all guys do enjoy this one, man. If y'all do, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on so you never miss another solid upload. But, baby, let's get into this one and see what's going on.
Not even close. Not good. He was great. He's one of the top 5 3-point shooters of all time. That's how good Bird is.
Top two.
Oh, yes.
Top two, for sure.
Shooting contests, he was phenomenal. Bird's a great shooter.
Top two.
This is the face of a Larry Bird denier because one seemingly innocuous comment about how great of a three-point shooter Larry Bird was had him all in his feelings.
Doggy, it's just math. It's attempts, it's makes, and it's percentage. And there's no way you could ever argue Larry Bird is a top.
The reason why I can argue with you, look, look. Let me explain to you why I can argue the fact that Larry Bird is a far better shooter than most people that we see today. The reason being is it was frowned upon in his era to take threes. Hear me out. Think about it. Back in the 80s and 90s, it was frowned on to take a three. It was really like it wasn't I want to say Larry Bird came maybe I want to say during his era is when they added the 3-point line. Like, I think they didn't have it in college for him. Or no, they did have it in college for him. But, like, they didn't have it his whole life. Like, he didn't have a 3-point line his whole life. And the thing is, he used it better than anybody else could. And let's just be honest. He took fewer 3-pointers because 3-pointers weren't how you got your money, how you got your buckets, how you did all of that. It was more on the fact of, hey, you know, score the basket, get to the basket, woo, 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 big man, big man, big man, big man. Larry Bird changed the game iconically. So he didn't take as many 3-pointers. But in today's society, if we took the exact same Larry Bird, I'm not changing any stats, I'm not changing nothing, and we took the exact same Larry Bird and put him in today's game and allowed him to shoot exactly as many threes as Stephen Curry, I am telling you right now, we have an argument. We have a big argument to even discuss because the simple fact to think that Larry Bird couldn't hang with 95 of today's shooters is crazy. That's like saying in today's league, do you think Michael Jordan couldn't hang with 95% of the league? Like, yeah, it's going to be some people that give him some issues like KD and, you know, LeBron and Steph. Those are players he's got to figure out. But to think just by he's not is crazy. And that's just, I don't know. I think it's an argument that could be had there. Less shots taken.
There's plenty of people that have shot more, made more, and guess what? Made more at a higher.
But you just made the valid point. They've shot more. Larry Bird was in an era where the 3-point was not like a big thing. You didn't shoot threes. Shooting threes was almost like that close to being a sin. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, shooting threes was not what you want to make it out to be.
Percentage than Larry Bird from 3. He's not one of the greatest 3-point shooters ever.
Now, as someone who claims to be a student of the game, why in the world would J.J. Redick say something so idiotic? In the words of the great Roy Jones Jr., y'all must have forgot. J.J. Redick, this video is dedicated to you.
Yeah.
I lived that 80s era, and Larry Bird was one of the greatest 3-point shooters that's ever played this game. Fuck percentages. It ain't about that. It's about hitting big shots. Things that he couldn't do as a player.
Larry Bird hit
don't worry about it.
more
We
big
still on it.
3-point shots than anyone, even to this day, and he did it in supreme fashion while trash talking every step of the way.
We're playing Phoenix and we're way ahead, okay? When we're down in the old Saddle Dome that they had outside.
Right.
And Larry, you know, we're playing good as a team. Larry had the worst fourth quarter known to man. I mean, he's throwing the ball to the other team. I'm like, good Lord, we had like a 15-point lead. Next thing you know, we're down 2. And I'm like, oh, how in the world are we going to lose this game, man?
So we have a play, out of bounds play. Larry says, I'm going to bust off the play, and I'm just going to come out, and I'm going to shoot a 3. And I'm like, no, don't do that. I'm like, let's go to the hole, try to get fouled. Let's just get into overtime, see if we can't win this game.
So,
Larry said, I win the game. I'm not about to do that. We win in this game. I'm not about to sit here and play with these dudes. We going to win. We not going for no tie. We winning right now. We're not going to overtime.
So, Larry not only tells me that, he walked by the bench and says, typical Bird, he just real slow, fixing to bust a three on your guys and go home. And so he breaks the play.
Max looking, loops it to Bird, a runner. It's good. It's good.
I called game. I called game.
103 to 101, a three-pointer by Larry Bird at the buzzer.
And he gets the ball, jumps out, busts the play, comes out, gets the ball at the slot, shoots the ball. As the ball's in the air, he kind of turns towards the Phoenix bench and yells, "Told you so!" He's off running to the locker room. And I just started laughing. I was like, oh, man.
That was Birdie. And he had the confidence. Man, that dude had so much confidence. He talked to the coaches. He talked to everybody. He was talking trash all the time, man. But fun. Great competitor, man.
And what Kevin McHale failed to mention is that Larry Bird had not taken a single three-pointer that entire game.
Hey, JJ, I hope you're listening. Larry Bird was the first player to make the three-point shot a strategic weapon. You weren't out there taking 14 or 15. He liked to use it.
Hold on. We ain't going to talk about it like that. Say it again. He said as a strategic weapon. He didn't use it because it was just cool. He did it because he knew, okay, I can hit these. I can run amok on people. I can do what it got to do. That's what made Larry Bird, yeah, I like that. Strategic. Okay, he uses okay.
Listening. Larry Bird was the first player to make the three-point shot a strategic weapon. You weren't out there taking 14 or 15. He liked to use it as a dagger in the fourth quarter. Nobody else used it as strategically as Larry Bird did.
Even Michael Jordan understood that shooting too many threes was not the best way to win.
Here's Jordan for three. Yes! Did you see that one?
When you have that mentality, as I found out in the first game, of making threes, you don't go to the hole as much. You go to the three-point line and you start sitting there waiting for someone to find you. And that's not my mentality. And I don't want to create that because it takes away from all phases of my game. My game is a fake drive to the hole, penetrate, dish off, dunk or whatever.
But for some reason, J.J. Redick actually thinks basketball is just a math equation. And he couldn't be more wrong.
Look at
just
this.
because three is more than two doesn't mean you should jack up a bunch of threes. Larry Bird not only was a great three-point shooter, but he had one of the highest basketball IQs in NBA history. And even he never averaged over 4 three-point attempts per game in any season. But he shot them and made them when they truly mattered.
Whopper, give me
like in this game, when the Celtics were down by 3 with 7 seconds to go, and then this happened.
Crowd is standing up. It goes now to Bird. Bird
give
goes
me this.
Up.
Yeah. We back in here.
4 seconds left. He hits it. And it's
give me this.
Tied up again. My goodness.
And if you think that one-legged three-point shot was luck, well, explain this. Because in that same game, in overtime, with 2 seconds left, and the Celtics down by 1, this happened.
Danny Ainge to inbounds for the Celtics, trailing by 1, 2 seconds left. Into Bird, he fires.
Bang.
Yes! And the Celtics win! Unbelievable! Larry Bird at the buzzer!
There's something to be said for the guy who does it when you have to have it done, as opposed to those guys that can do it for the first 3 quarters. But do you see Steph Curry? Can you say he's the best shooter that we've ever seen?
No, I don't know about that. The thing is, anybody can shoot it when it's tied.
See, the thing, okay, I'm a big, I want to make this very clear. Like, I'm a huge Larry Bird fan. Like, I'm a round of applause, like, Larry Bird fan. The argument that I keep, like, having with myself about this whole, Larry Bird and Stephen Curry, who's a better shooter argument, what really defers me is I feel that Michael Jordan and Stephen Curry are the exact same player. of this era, like Stephen Curry's this era. Now, hear me out before somebody say, "Yo, Lonnie, you solid, you wildin', bro. Like, you really you doing the most." Like, I want you to really think about it. It's not that. The point that you got to understand is the way that we are dazzled and amazed by what Stephen Curry does today is the exact same way me and several other kids felt in the 90s and 80s with MJ. It was dazzle, bro. It was like, yo, how can he do that? Like, how is he doing that? That's not like, he's not supposed to humanly possibly be able to do that. So Stephen Curry is an argument that I can make with Larry Bird and myself. I mean, maybe to other people it ain't there, but to me, I can make that argument. But there's nobody else that I would honestly make that argument for. Like, Klay Thompson was probably the second greatest shooter in today's league. I couldn't make that argument to say Larry Bird is, in the same category as him. James Harden at one point was one of the greatest shooters in the league. I could not make that argument. Danny Green, another person I could not make that argument with. Ray Allen could not make that argument with. What's the other guy's name? It's right there on the tip of my tongue. Pacers. Reggie Miller. Yeah, it's players that you just can't make that argument with. And Stephen Curry is just one of those players I can make that argument with. That's all I'm saying.
It's when you're down 1 or down 2. I mean, how
many
guys
give me
make
this
that shot?
But since JJ Redick loves his numbers so much, let's compare prime Larry Bird's three-point numbers with Steph Curry's 2016
we got numbers.
MVP season.
I love numbers. Numbers is a game. Numbers is how you find out the truth. Here we go.
Steph Curry shot 45.4% from 3, while Larry Bird shot 42.3% from 3. Mm-hmm. Now, in a vacuum, using only this number, the unsophisticated analyst might assume that Steph Curry was a better three-point shooter than Larry Bird, but not so fast. How about we compare each player to the three-point shooters of their own era? In 2016, the league.
Oh, that's good. How do you compare to everybody else in the league during your three-point reign? Like, you're 42% from three-point line in the 80s. Stephen Curry, you're 45 in 2016. But how do you fare against the James Harden of your era? Is he 42, 43%? Is the three ball really being used like that right now? Like, that's a good one. What's the closest average? Because if James Harden and him is close, and then Larry Bird and the next dude is far apart, it tells you the big difference. Like, yeah, it's because even when he wasn't taking as many threes, he was still dominating with threes.
Average three-point percentage was 35.4%.
I want to say it's James Harden. I might be wrong.
This means that Steph Curry was 28% better than league average. In 1985, the league average three-point percentage was 28.2%.
That's about 50%.
This means that Larry Bird was 51% better than league average.
That's crazy.
So, in reality, Larry Bird dominated the three-point line in his era even better than 2016 unanimous MVP Steph Curry. But numbers don't make an argument. Their only purpose is to supplement what we already know to be true.
If the three-point shot was what it is today, back in the 80s,
we got a different argument.
50 a game. He made every mid-ranger in the world, and he was a 90% free throw shooter. Outside of one jumper when he missed the Game 4 jumper against Magic, he had a broken hand. I don't recall ever a big shot in a big game that he ever missed.
So,
answer
this question. If you need one player to hit one three-point shot to save your life, who are you taking? Steph Curry, who lost the three-point shooting contest 5 times to his peers? Or Larry Bird, who won the three-point shooting contest back to back to back?
That's an argument, That's an argument. All right, I'm going Larry Bird. That's just me. Only reason why I would pick Larry Bird in that situation for my life no. After falling in the bench like that, bro. Bro, every three. I don't even care for my car, for it all. Larry shooting. Larry taking them. You get what I'm saying? Like, if I want to win a game, I'm putting Larry Bird in. If I just want to, get numbers up, I'll put Steph in, I guess, or whatever. But that ain't what it is. If I'm going to win a game, I'm putting that French lick boy right there, in there, baby. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Back then, there were cons back then. But to say anything disparaging about Larry Bird and his perimeter shooting and his three-point shooting,
he's difficult.
Asinine. Like, JJ, he probably beat your ass in a three-point shooting contest today.
And though it sounds like hyperbole, this is what a 60-year-old Larry Bird did at an Indiana Pacers practice.
So the whole team is just stretching, and Larry just walks on the court, grabbed the ball, and started jacking threes like, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Like, I'm like,
he making it right in the face.
Y'all see this right now? And he made like at least 10 in a row threes, like just in a row, and walked off and sat like he ain't do nothing. Like, it was regular, and fold his legs and just sit.
Nigga came in the middle like, I'm gonna go hit these threes real quick, and then I'm gonna go sit down and just wait on y'all to get it together because I done figured it out. That's what Larry did. He done came in the building. He said, I'm gonna do what it need to be done. And then y'all gonna figure it out that I'm still with that. I'm 60 and I can give you a 30 tonight. That's what Larry I love it. I'm 60 and I can give you a 30 tonight.
Like, oh, this guy's nice. I'm like, man, that's a legend right there.
Speaking of shooting threes, Coach, you at the three-point competition, walking in the locker room, who's playing? Did you really say that? Who's playing for second?
Yeah, I did. I sort of felt bad because Leon Wood never crossed the three-point line. All he did was he always shot threes. So I thought he might be the competition. When I walked in there, he's sitting there, and I said, okay, now they're down to the nitty-gritty. Who's coming in second? You already know who's going to win this. I think they were a little nervous.
And after Larry.
That's crazy. Larry, like, all right, so if I'm winning, who coming in second? Because I'm not gonna be sitting here all night.
Bird hit 11 straight threes in this final round.
Wow.
He decided to hit one off the backboard.
Wow.
Just for fun.
Oh, wait a second. Off the glass.
That check said my name on it for a week now, and I knew I was going to win this thing.
Boy, I said the check done had my name on it for a week now. Y'all wasn't even ready. Hold on. Hey, it's been here for a week. That's what it is. It's been mine for a week. When they called me and said, Larry, we want you to be in the competition, the three-point competition. I told him to go ahead and put my name on it because ain't nobody else getting it. I'm taking mine with me. That's what I like to hear. Yeah.
The walk off with your hand up.
Oh, yeah, we done.
On, Coach. Come on.
You know, when you're shooting them, you don't know what the score is.
Right.
But I had a feeling by the way the crowd was going, I had to make the last one. And that one there looked perfect all the way. So if it would have bounced out, I would have felt like an idiot. Well, but it went in. I got lucky and got the check and went home.
Yeah.
Larry Bird winning the long-distance shootout for the third year in a row.
Now imagine that. Larry Bird, who didn't even see a three-point line until after he entered the NBA.
Taken in the face, then not watching.
I said that. I just said that. He didn't have it his whole career. So for somebody to be,
Unbelievable. You know how far away that is?
Somehow became the greatest, most clutch three-point shooter of all time.
Bang.
And he did it in the most physical era of basketball. I don't care what J.J. Redick says.
Right. When I watch Steph Curry off the ball in a playoff game.
Oh, he's great.
Getting grabbed and held by Marcus Smart. They're attached to him at all times.
Right.
Then when I watch Larry Bird come off a pin down and no one's within 5 feet of him and they're shooting the gap. You're telling me one is more physical than the other? You're telling me that's more physical than...
See, okay. The reason why you see it that way is because Larry Bird is stronger than Steph. So if I go if I'm Steph and you guarded me and I try to push you a little bit, you're going to be like, hey, I'm still here. But if Larry pushes you and he put a little pressure on them arms like he got some little stout with him, he going to push you, get up out of here. That's how it is. You get what I'm saying? Like, he going to come and give you some real stuff. And that's just what I'm saying. Y'all got to look at it like that. I get what you're saying, but that's not how that cut.
Steph Curry being grabbed and held for 48 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, JJ continues to embarrass his university and diminishes the worth of a Duke degree by speaking with such colossal ignorance in public, with such arrogance and authority.
Why he cooking that man like
that? That suggests that a no hand-checking finesse league where people are camping out 42.5 feet from the basket is more physical than the NBA of 30. Oh my God, let's talk about 50 or 60 years ago, but even 30 years ago.
Bro, for some reason, I'm sorry. This is my favorite clip. The LeBron James clip. It just gets me every time.
50 or 60
these
years
two
ago.
right here.
But
These
even
two.
30 years ago.
This
Why
one
does he
and
come
this
up
one.
with this? This defies common sense.
And Michael Cooper, who was Larry Bird's toughest defender in the 80s, took J.J. Redick's comments very personally.
You know what? Watch your mouth, man, when you're talking about former players and who can do this and who can do that. Because the game changed in the 80s because it was so physical. In today's NBA, I don't know what game he's looking at. You can't touch the guy. Anytime you touch anybody, a three-point shooter, come close to them when they're landing, it's a foul. To say that Steph is getting more.
Hold on. Dude didn't even touch him. He got called for the foul. I saw that one. I was in awe of that one. I'm sorry.
That guy has no clue of how basketball was played in the 80s. And I guarantee you this, J.J. Redick, if you had played in the 80s, this is Michael Cooper talking, I'd have locked your ass up. You wouldn't have got a shot off.
Talk to him.
You got nothing off. You
Talk to him, OG.
Time on the bench.
Talk to him, OG.
When I was on the floor, you couldn't have played when I was on the court.
I mean, for J.J. Redick to disrespect an entire generation of basketball players, what did he expect?
First of all, Redick don't know what the hell he's talking about. I'm going to say it, right?
I agree.
He don't know what the hell he's talking about. I'm like, what basketball was you watching? To say something as idiotic as that is ridiculous. And for J.J. Redick, who've played this game, I'm very disappointed that he has said something so stupid. When I hear that, and I'm like, you really don't know, do you? We had our time. It was a great time. It's their time now.
Yes.
But don't crap on us to prove your point.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense and it's not valid. I don't hate on these guys.
You're responding right now.
Yeah.
You're not.
I don't hate on these guys. These guys are great. I just don't like the disrespect.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to say that about Larry Bird, it's just a stupid comment to make.
Unfortunately, somewhere along the way, common basketball knowledge was lost. But hopefully, these Larry Bird stories enlighten you to why the world fell in love with basketball in the first place.
Yes, sir.
And this particular play down is a timeout, and they're coming down, and Larry gets me at the top of the key, and he's walking me underneath this basket. He goes, Cooper, I'm ready to wear your ass out.
Fair enough.
Okay, I get down to my best defensive stance. He goes down the lane. He comes off the left side, and Robert Parrish sets a pick. And we knew the play. We knew what was coming up. And Kareem was ready, and as Larry comes off the pick, shoulder to shoulder with Parrish, and I'm trailing behind him, he catches the basketball right about the elbow. And he gets the ball, and he goes up, and Kareem stops him from turning the corner. Larry catches the ball, he goes up in the air, and here I come. And I'm like, I'm getting ready to smash this shit, man. So I jump up, and I got my hand, and I don't know how Larry got this ball between Kareem and I, because Kareem had his hands up. I'm coming with my right hand, and he hit a great pass. Like I said, I don't know how he got it to him. Hits Robert Parrish, and Larry looks over his shoulder at me, and he laughs. He said, I told you, motherfucker.
But it's also had a telling effect on Michael Cooper.
I told you. I ain't come to play, buddy. I told you.
Beneath the basket, they're wearing him out.
That's what made Larry larger than life, because if anybody in today's game, maybe Steph Curry comes off that, they force that shot up there. They try to get the shot off, but that's the difference between Larry. That play right there softens you up for the next time. Now Kareem's not going to jump out. Now Larry's wide open and shoot the ball. So
he knew how to play the game.
Former players to really understand that, but I never ever discount another player at any decade. I hate Larry Bird, but I respect the hell out of that man. And Larry Bird was one of the greatest three-point shooters that's ever played this game. Fuck percentages. It ain't about that. It's about hitting big shots.
Facts. All right, man, that was the end of this video, man. I hope y'all guys did enjoy this one, man. This is probably the last video. It's kind of getting dark out, man. But, man, thank y'all guys for checking this one out, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on so you never miss another solid upload, baby. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.